Hi, this is Dan York coming at you from Minneapolis, Minnesota, where I'm up here still for the 73rd meeting of the Internet Engineering Task Force. You can see the lights of downtown Minneapolis behind us. It's far too late for me to really be recording this, but hey, why not? So today was the third day here at IETF 73. Lots of stuff were happening. A number of discussions were going on, some meetings around Simple, the instant messaging protocol as part of SIP, and XMPP, which is used in Jabber, Google Talk, etc., and some of the interop capabilities between them, which was interesting to hear some of the discussions, participate in some of those conversations on how we might want that to work. It was also a very detailed meeting that happened today. Unfortunately, it was only about an hour, but it was looking at how the real-time applications and infrastructure, what we call RAI, R-A-I, could be structured better to be able to help move things along a bit better. The RAI area includes SIP, SIPPing, the media control, all the different groups that basically are things of interest to us. And one of the critiques about the group is that it hasn't been moving quickly, that documents get bogged down, that they don't move forward. So this discussion was about how can we structure it so it's better. There were some good ideas, some ways to perhaps restructure things a bit with the way groups are broken up to kind of cluster similar groups together so that documents could move a bit more efficiently. Some ideas about how to help mentor new leaders and new editors and such. We'll have to see where all that goes. Jonathan Rosenberg also had what he called a modest proposal that talked basically about the fact that SIP needs to, the SIP documents, the SIP group, needs to take a look at the reality of the deployments that are out there. One of the things, the original vision of SIP 10 years ago really, was that there would be end-to-end connectivity and end-to-end abilities for SIP endpoints, SIP phones, to be able to talk directly to other SIP phones and be able to exchange information. And in that end-to-end infrastructure, you'd be able to have some rich communication out of that. The reality is it's not deployed that way. A SIP device inside of a network has a session border controller, SBC, or at least a back-to-back user agent or proxy, something in the way that gets in the middle between the device on one side and the device on the other. The impact of that is that B2B UAs or SBCs or other devices that are in there wind up breaking some of the signaling that goes between the endpoint to the other, in the sense that they rewrite some of the SIP headers and they do things like that that get in the way of the end-to-end principle. Yet a lot of the SIP documents have been written focused on the whole end-to-end idea. So Jonathan's point was to say, let's look at the reality of the current deployment models and bring our documents about in that view. There's a lot of discussion around that between folks who want to say we need to stay focused on the end-to-end view, to folks who say we need to accept the realities and ship and modify our documents to that. But of course, some people say if we do that, why aren't we just turn it into the ITU and pass it over to some other organization to go and create that? Lots of good discussion that was going on out there. For my part, I think that we have to keep our eyes on the ultimate goal of having a rich communication experience between users when we're in a full IP environment. Now, whether there's a B2B UA in there or not, I don't really know, and there probably will be, but the point is we need to hold on to that vision of what the rich communication experience can be. But we do have to write our docs and write our stuff with the understanding that the current deployments and the current network may be full of other devices that are in the way. A lot more will be discussed, so it's a good topic, a good time. If you're interested, you can join the RAI Discuss mailing list, where a lot of this will be talked about in the weeks and months following this IETF. Today also had, for me, a session, the P2PSIP working group, where I was presenting a draft on a peer-to-peer SIP requirements. It's something, security requirements, I should say. My background is with the VoIP Security Alliance, and I'm involved in that organization, have been for several years now. And so some folks from Huawei approached me to to help them with a draft around peer-to-peer SIP security. That got folded in with a draft from some folks at Nokia Siemens around security requirements. Together, there's this combined draft. And so today I was presenting in front of the group around, what should we do with this document? And thankfully I wasn't shredded too badly. Sometimes presenting in front of an IETF group can be a little bit intimidating because people are very open to expressing their opinions in a very strong manner. But in my case, it came out pretty well as far as a view that we're fine with, which was to take some of the information out of the peer-to-peer SIP document, the security document we have, and put it into the main base proposal as security considerations, and to take the other parts into an educational document which could head on its way toward an informational RFC. All in all, it was a good day. There were some other great conversation sessions. I recorded some fun video. You'll get to see a couple of those in the next few days as I roll those out, including an entertaining session with Chris DeBona from Google. But anyway, more on that soon. And that's all. I'm in Minneapolis till the end of the week, and looking forward to having some more sessions tomorrow and the next day. Until another episode, this is Dan York signing out. You can read more about this and sign up for more shows at blogs.voxeo.com/ETT. And if you have comments about these shows, please feel free to leave them either to the show blogs, the blog entry, the post for each show, or send me email to dyork@voxeo.com. I'd love to hear your comments or thoughts about what's happening with this show. Thanks. Bye.